Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Triple H opened up about how one accidental and improvised moment eventually led to the big push that Jey Uso has received in WWE. You might be surprised to learn that one moment in 2023 started it all. On the High Performance Podcast, Triple H went into detail about how one improvised moment from Payback 2023, 590 days ago, began the Yeet movement. During Jey Uso's return, when he was announced as a Raw superstar for the first time, he lifted his hands in the air, and the crowd went along with him, creating his now iconic entrance. Triple H explained the entire scenario in detail. Jey Uso right now came out of a long storyline with Roman Reigns and sort of became this babyface or good guy of the bloodline and breaks out on his own. Main event Jey Uso. The entrance track is very rhythmic. He got up on the turnbuckle where he was doing this thing, very rhythmically going with the music, and the crowd started doing it with him. He came back, and I was like, hey, you did a thing, and he wasn't really aware of it. We all started to talk about it, and I was telling him that he was rhythmically bouncing in the corner, and I don't know if you noticed, but the crowd started to do it, the hand gesture. 1915 to 2014. As time went on, the game revealed how this entrance set up the big push Jey has received since then. This happens over a series of weeks. Go further down that road, what if you started putting your arms into it? Backstage, he would always say this Yeet thing, and it became this comic moment between him and his cousin Roman Reigns. It just caught on, and we went with the Yeet, and he started doing that thing with his hands rhythmically. Now it's become this deal where we bring him out through the crowd, and he will stand in that crowd, and he's doing that thing with his arms, and the entire crowd is doing it with him and singing the lyrics. It has launched him to a different level of stardom. 2015 to 2105. Triple H essentially confirmed that Jey Uso's entrance was what increased his standing. Triple H continued, explaining how the Yeet movement took off. The game said that Jey Uso is simply on fire right now, and he's going to be featured in a World Heavyweight title match against Gunther at WrestleMania. What was interesting was the fact that Triple H also said that a lot of the success that Jey has achieved is due to the entrance that has become a staple of Monday nights on Raw. He compared it to his own iconic water bottle spit during his entrance. He even mentioned how The Rock's famous finisher, the People's Elbow, started as a joke to make The Undertaker break character. When he was dared to do it on television, the People's Elbow was something that took off, and it's now a very big part of The Rock's character. Even the King of Kings admitted that it was one of the worst possible finishers, but it came out of an improvised moment. He explained that the ability to improvise was a big part of his creative philosophy. In the ever-evolving world of WWE, where storylines twist and turn, sometimes it's not just careful planning that forges a star, it's fate. Triple H, the man steering WWE's creative ship, sat down this past weekend for an in-depth conversation on the bump, and for the first time, he revealed how an unexpected moment nearly 600 days ago set the wheels in motion for Jey Uso's meteoric rise. 590 days, Triple H began, with a slight smirk. Almost exactly. I remember it because we weren't even supposed to be shooting that day. He leaned back in his chair, his signature intensity softened by a flicker of nostalgia. We were backstage at SmackDown. Roman was preparing for a promo segment, heavy bloodline stuff, and Jey was there, of course, playing his role as the right-hand man. Everything was running smooth. Then, it happened. What happened was as unscripted as it gets. According to Triple H, during the rehearsal, as they mapped out the angles for Roman Reigns' now famous acknowledgement ceremony, a stagehand accidentally dropped a camera case behind the set. The loud crash startled everyone, including Jey Uso, who instinctively snapped into character. That moment, Triple H recounted, Jey's reaction was so raw, so real, he dropped the scripted lines and just went off. He had this fire in his eyes, and he barked at the crew member in character, but it wasn't forced. It was natural. He wasn't playing Jey Uso anymore. He was Jey Uso. The crew watched, stunned. Paul Heyman, who never misses a beat, leaned over to Hunter and whispered, "Did you see that?" Triple H nodded, already replaying the moment in his mind like a director who just caught lightning in a bottle. Up until then, Jey had been viewed largely as a reliable tag team specialist, forever tied to his brother Jimmy. The Usos were an institution, one of the best tag teams in WWE history, but few imagined Jey as a solo star capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with main eventers like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, or Seth Rollins. But Triple H saw it differently. Right there, he explained, I saw the potential for something more. Jey had this raw energy. He could convey emotion in a way that made people feel it, even through the camera lens. That's rare. What followed over the next several weeks was a subtle shift in creative direction. Triple H began quietly planting seeds, gradually allowing Jey more microphone time, encouraging unscripted moments, and letting him lean into the conflicted loyalty that became the heartbeat of the Bloodline saga. "You saw it build," Triple H said. "We didn't want to rush it. The story had to feel organic because Jey's rise was organic. It came from that accidental moment. We let the tension simmer between him and Roman. We let fans see the cracks form, and Jey, man, he delivered every single time." As the weeks turned into months, the WWE Universe began to notice. Social media buzzed with hashtags like #MainEventJey and #EatMovement. Jey's promo work grew sharper, his matches more intense. Fans began to rally behind him not just because of his athleticism, but because of his vulnerability. He wasn't invincible like Roman or cunning like Heyman. Jey was the heartbeat of the people, the conflicted soul of the Bloodline story. The beauty of it all, Triple H reflected, is that none of this was originally planned to be so centered on Jey. It was supposed to be Roman's vehicle, with the Usos as supporting players. But then Jey stepped up in ways we couldn't ignore. The culmination came at SummerSlam, when Jey Uso headlined against Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. While he didn't walk away with the title, Jey's performance stole the show. In that moment, he wasn't just part of the Bloodline, he was bigger than the Bloodline. "I'll never forget watching from gorilla position," Triple H said, his voice carrying genuine admiration. "When Jey walked through that curtain, the crowd erupted. That was the sound of belief. That was the sound of a man who had earned his place at the table." According to Triple H, the journey from accidental moment to main event wasn't just about Jey's talent, but also his resilience. He praised Jey's willingness to trust the process and embrace the vulnerability of stepping out of his comfort zone. "A lot of guys would have hesitated," he admitted. "Jey could have stayed in the tag team lane, comfortably, for the rest of his career. But he took the leap. He dared to bet on himself." Interestingly, Triple H also revealed that future plans for Jey extend far beyond his current position. Without giving away spoilers, he teased that Jey's journey is far from over and that fans should expect another level from him in the coming months. "You've only seen the beginning," he said with a knowing grin. "Jey has all the tools to carry this company. He's got the connection with the fans, he's got the passion, and most importantly, he's got the heart." As the interview wrapped up, Triple H offered a final reflection: "In this business, you can plan everything down to the second, but sometimes, it's the unplanned moments that define careers." For Jey, 590 days ago, it was a clatter behind the set. A mistake. But from that mistake, we found a masterpiece. It's a story that will no doubt be retold for years to come, a reminder that in WWE, as in life, greatness can come from the most unexpected places. And as Jey Uso continues to ride the wave of his breakout moment, fans everywhere will look back at that fateful day and appreciate the magic of a mistake that led to history. In the world of professional wrestling, moments are currency. And at WrestleMania 40, Jey Uso's entrance wasn't just a moment, it was a statement of arrival, of ascension, of undeniable stardom. The crowd erupted as the pulsating beat of main event Jey filled the stadium, and the flames of his pyro shot sky high. Yet, until recently, the backstage belief had only been whispered. Now, it's as good as confirmed. Triple H, the man at the helm of WWE Creative, essentially stamped it as fact in a candid post-Mania media scrum. When asked what cemented Jey Uso's rise from tag team specialist to bona fide singles main eventer, the game leaned forward, a knowing grin creeping across his face. "Listen," Triple H began, choosing his words with the same precision he once used for pedigrees. "WrestleMania is the biggest stage of them all. You don't just stumble into greatness out there. You have to own that moment. Jey's entrance? Man, that was the moment." The words hung in the air, the room almost buzzing with confirmation. Triple H, ever the strategist, rarely reveals the full playbook. But this was as close to a full admission as fans could get. The birth of main event Jey. To understand the significance, you have to rewind. Jey Uso has always been beloved. As part of the Usos, he helped redefine tag team wrestling in WWE, headlining shows and carrying the division on his back. But it wasn't until the Bloodline saga unfolded that Jey's potential as a solo star became clear. The emotional layers of his rivalry and uneasy alliance with Roman Reigns added depth to his character. Fans connected with the turmoil, The brother torn between family loyalty and personal destiny. It was powerful television, but still, some doubted whether Jey could stand alone. That doubt dissolved the moment his entrance began at WrestleMania. The lights dimmed. Tribal drums fused with high-energy hip-hop, and the entire stadium throbbed with anticipation. Jey emerged with a determined glare, draped in white and red, a color scheme nodding to his bloodline roots but radiating his individual identity. Every step down the ramp was punctuated by thunderous cheers, the crowd chanting, "Yeet! Yeet!" in unison. He looked like a megastar, Triple H emphasized. He felt like he belonged. It wasn't just about music or pyro, it was the aura. Jey had transformed an entrance into a coronation. The locker room reaction. Backstage, his peers were just as electrified. Reports from behind the curtain revealed superstars from every brand gathered around monitors to watch the spectacle unfold. Some clapped. Some nodded in approval. Even veterans, notoriously tough to impress, had to admit, Jey Uso wasn't stepping up, he was stepping out. "Jey had us all fired up," said one anonymous veteran. "You could feel it. He wasn't just doing an entrance. He was taking his moment." It's a feeling that Triple H, a man who has lived through countless WrestleMania entrances himself, knows well. And he confirmed that it was not lost on WWE's top brass. "When you get that kind of visceral reaction from the crowd and the boys in the back," Triple H said, "that's when you know you've hit another level." What happens next for Jey Uso? Since that fateful entrance, the momentum hasn't slowed. Merchandise sales featuring main event Jey branding have skyrocketed. His post-Mania appearances have been met with deafening ovations, whether on Raw or SmackDown. WWE's social media metrics showed a spike in engagement every time his entrance music hits. There's even speculation that higher-ups see Jey as a future Royal Rumble winner, maybe even a world champion. Triple H, careful not to give away too much, still hinted at big plans. "Let's just say the future is bright," he smirked. "He's earned every bit of this." And that's the key word, earned. Jey Uso's journey wasn't manufactured overnight. It was the product of years of grit, loyalty, evolution, and finally, seizing the moment when it mattered most. His WrestleMania entrance served as the culmination of that journey, a visual and emotional representation of everything he'd fought for. A message to the WWE Universe. More than just elevating Jey Uso, this moment sends a larger message to the WWE Universe and to aspiring superstars: every detail matters. The music, the attire, the energy, the connection with the crowd, it all weaves together to create magic. Triple H drove this home during the media scrum. "Wrestling is about moments, right?" he said. That entrance, for Jey, was more than a walk to the ring. It was a declaration. And the people felt it. We felt it. It's a reminder of the power of spectacle, of presentation, and most importantly, of authenticity. Jey didn't try to be someone he wasn't. He embraced who he is, a fiery competitor with a deep family legacy but an even deeper hunger to forge his own path. The legacy continues. There's poetic symmetry in this, too. For years, the Usos had some of the most dynamic entrances in tag team wrestling. Now, as a solo act, Jey has managed to capture that same magic and amplify it to even greater heights. He stands as a beacon for superstars looking to break free from the shadows and into the spotlight. Triple H's near confirmation is more than an endorsement. It's a validation of the journey and a signal that WWE sees Jey Uso as a pillar of its future. As the dust settles from WrestleMania and eyes turn toward the next premium live event, one thing is crystal clear: when Jey Uso's music hits, it's no longer just an entrance. It's an event unto itself. And thanks to the King of Kings' nod of approval, the world now knows it too.